Hello, guys. It's Tom. Uh, I had a subscriber ask me to talk about my uh, psychic abilities and some of my experiences with being a psychic medium. Uh, when I was around 5 or 6 years old, I started seeing spirits, and um, I never did tell nobody about it. Uh, I didn't want to be judged. I was scared. I didn't know that seeing spirits wasn't normal, and I'd take and talk to them when I was alone and didn't have anybody around. I'd I'd start helping them to learn to cross over and not to stay here in this world suffering like we do. Uh, I believe that that's what it was, is that they didn't know how to cross over and that they were still here suffering. And throughout my life, I'd take and find stones that I would knew of that would help with enhancing psychic abilities, and I carry a piece of amethyst with me every once in a while. In fact, over half my altar are stones that help with psychic abilities. The pyrite that I showed in my altar video is used for psychic abilities. Clear quartz, citrine, the garnets and rubies help with that. Um, let's see, what else do I see on my altar that does. I carry copper with me. It is a, um, I call it a modifier. It gives more power to your whatever you're practicing, and sometimes if a spirit can't cross over, I will burn incense that I've made up of different herbs that help with psychic ability, clairvoyance. I'm also a channeler. I channel spirits sometimes, and I allow them to use me to speak to others. It's very draining when you do that, so I don't do it too often. It's hard on my body physically and spiritually, but I will allow them to come and speak through me at times. Excuse me. The first time I've actually admitted to my family that I had the ability to do that, I was living in Texas with my grandmother and my grandfather for 10 months. They were getting ready to sell their house and move back to New Mexico where I was raised. And my grandmother had the news on, and they were told that there was a body found in a dumpster. And I told my grandma during commercial break, I said, when they come back, they're going to say that they found it on the Texas-Louisiana border. Sure enough, when they came back on, they said that they had found a body. It was a woman. I told my grandma it was a young woman. And sure enough, exactly as I had told her, they had said that they had found a young woman's body murdered and put in a dumpster. And that was my first time to come out and to my family and tell them about that experience. And then I don't know if many of you remember the Breonna Dennison case. She was from Nevada, I believe, and I was speaking to another Reiki master I had met through my Reiki master, and I didn't know how to go about telling that the police was talking about a murder that had took place, and they couldn't find the body. Once they found the body, they didn't know where to look for the murderer. And this lady, she was also a psychic medium, and I told her, I said, I'm getting visions like crazy, being told the spirits coming and telling me where the young lady was at, and how she died, and just different things of that nature. And she ended up writing up a letter for me and turning it into the police department at that, turning over that information to the police. So I asked that I didn't remain anonymous, but they ended up putting it on America's Most Wanted, that a psychic medium helped them find the killer. I said that he liked to collect trophies. When he killed, he'd rape the women and kill them. Bernadette Dennison was in college, and his trophies was women's panties. And I told him that to find her, they're going to find a pair of women's panties, and it didn't belong to her. They would belong to another female that he also had raped and done a murder, killed. I don't know her name. And it ended up being that after all this was said and done, they found him in California where he lived, and this lady was friends with the girlfriends of the boyfriend. She knew the boyfriend's girlfriend of the murderer, and it kind of shocked her as much as it did me. But I said, I had told them that they would find her body under a Joshua tree, and in Nevada and in California, a Joshua tree is the yucca plant. That's what they would call a Joshua tree. And sure enough, after the snow had melted off, it was winter, they had found her body. And it helped put closure and rest for the family. And I was grateful to be able to help. And at the same time, I was scared because, I've never been able to help nobody with... I was still kind of unsure if my being a psychic medium, if it was really me or if it was the spirits. My self-confidence was very low, and so I just, most of my whole life, I've kept most of the stuff like this to myself. I didn't share it with anybody, and now I'm just trying to tap into it more and assist people that want help or need help. I'll sit and meditate on things, holding some of my precious stones or my psychic stones, and I've came across quite a few more stones now that I am going to start incorporating into my psychic abilities and my psychic gifts. I do have a medicine bag that I put together. I built it myself, and I will go into detail showing later on the things that I put in there. I wear that with me sometimes when I go off. I don't have a whole lot of stuff in there right now. I interchange it. The Native Americans also carried not only medicine bags, but they carried what they call medicine bundles. And I still don't have a medicine bundle put together. My spirit guides have told me that I will find items that I need to include in my medicine bag or my medicine bundle if I decide to create one. And that is pretty much the way that I've started off with my psychic gifts and abilities. And I think when I got my Reiki attunements, it opened up where the spirits came to me more. A lot of people don't know that when they have psychic abilities or psychic gifts, that we act as lighthouses. We're like pure light and pure energy, and the spirits see that light and that energy, and they go to that, and they're drawn to people like that. And we have to learn to discern if a spirit's telling us the truth, if they're lying to us. I was I used to be a Pentecostal pastor at one time, and they I had a family that called me out saying that they had been attacked by a spirit or a demon or something, and they took pictures, and in the pictures you could see 3 scratch marks on the person's body. That's usually a sign of demonic possession. And I did a Pentecostal exorcism, and the things that I'd seen, if I wouldn't have seen it with my own eyes, I don't think I would have believed it. I've seen things float through the air. The person that was possessed ended up speaking with a male's voice. It was a female, and she spoke in a male's voice, very deep voice. Her body rose off the floor about 1.5 feet, 2 feet from the floor, and this demon was cussing and cursing in Latin. I know very little Latin, but usually whenever I have these spirits come to me, they may speak in another language that I don't know, but my guides translate it for me into English where I understand it. And I suppose that's how my psychic abilities began. And like I said, I don't talk about it much. I don't really know how to explain it to people. There's more people out there that has the psychic gifts than they realize. And I do readings for people sometimes. I don't usually use tarot. I go in my gut instinct, and I share the information that way. Blessings to everybody, and thank you for all the new subscribers and the comments. I really appreciate them. They mean a lot to me. They're helping me to build up my confidence, because I'm not used to being on camera or talking to people. I don't know, I guess you could say I'm kind of ashamed of hearing myself speak. I don't feel comfortable speaking. The only time I've ever felt comfortable speaking in front of crowds and groups was when I was a pastor. And I don't know why I was able to speak that way without any problems. But whenever it comes to something like this here, I kind of stutter still, and I get nervous and I tense up. But all of you guys are helping me, and I want to thank you all for that. Blessings. Hope you have a blessed day. May the gods and goddesses look down upon you and watch over you and keep you safe.